Tony Khan just pulled the trigger on the one thing AEW fans have screamed for since 2019. Brand new Women's World Tag Team Championships live on Dynamite. Seriously, for years, it felt like a question whispered in every arena, debated in every online forum. When are we getting women's tag titles? And then, boom. No warning, no leaked spoilers, just Renee Paquette, radiating pure joy, lifting those gleaming belts under the bright lights in Pittsburgh. The sight of them made the entire AEW women's roster, and frankly, the company itself, feel suddenly and completely whole. If you've ever complained that the women's side of AEW gets table scraps, a valid complaint at times, let's be honest, then today, my friends, we're talking about the all-you-can-eat buffet that just got served. This isn't just a new set of titles, it's a seismic shift. So, stick around because we're not just breaking down the big reveal and the absolutely gorgeous belt design, but also the teams already salivating at the chance to wear them, and why this single, massive announcement might just rebalance the entire company, setting it on a new, more inclusive, and incredibly exciting trajectory. Let's set the scene, shall we? It was September 24th, 2025, and the Peterson Event Center in Pittsburgh was absolutely sold out. The main show commentary team, usually so composed, was practically buzzing, hyping a historic announcement with a palpable sense of anticipation. Then Tony Khan walks out, and for once, there's no elaborate PowerPoint presentation, no 20-minute promo dissecting every nuance of his booking philosophy. It was just 10 seconds of cheap pop thanks to the roaring crowd, a quick nod, and then, boom, Renee Paquette, looking absolutely thrilled, lifts the velvet bag. Out from its depths emerged two gleaming, polished plates affixed to a sleek, black leather strap. The raised Women's World Tag Team etching, rendered in that classic, instantly recognizable AEW silver, caught the light and sent a ripple of excitement through the arena. The crowd, already on their feet, absolutely lost it. You could feel the energy surge through the building, a collective sigh of relief and excitement. What did they look like? Well, imagine the men's tag team straps but slightly scaled down, perfectly proportioned for the women's division. And that's smart branding, isn't it? You instantly know they're kin, part of the same prestigious lineage, yet distinct enough to celebrate the women's division. It speaks to a cohesive vision for the company's championships. Now, here's the kicker. Tony didn't drop a specific date for crowning the inaugural champs. No intricate tournament format was revealed right then and there, just the powerful, simple promise that the best women's tag teams on Earth will write history in AEW. It was short, sweet, to the point, and utterly impactful. The clip of Renee holding those belts was already at 1.2 million Twitter views before midnight, a testament to the pent-up demand and the immediate resonance of the announcement. That, folks, is the entire news bite in its purest form. These belts exist, they matter, and they are unequivocally here to stay. It's a statement of intent, loud and clear. All right, let's get into the real talk, because this is where the rubber meets the road. AEW launched in 2019, right? And the men's tag titles were practically on the drawing board from day one, crowned in October of that same year. Meanwhile, the women had to wait 6 long, sometimes frustrating, years. Why the delay? Well, depth was the public-facing excuse, the polite answer. The quiet, unspoken truth, though, often felt like it had more to do with optics and priorities. In those early years, the women's roster, while talented, wasn't as vast or as consistently featured as the men's. There were certainly arguments to be made about building a strong singles division first. But look at the 2025 locker room now, and you'll see a completely different landscape. It's a goldmine of talent. Toni Storm isn't just delivering great matches. She's consistently putting on Match of the Year candidates, evolving her character and in-ring work with every appearance. Julia Hart? She's transformed from a spooky cheerleader into an absolutely dominant, captivating striker, a force to be reckoned with. Athena, the fallen goddess, is popping ROH houses every single weekend, showcasing a ruthless, powerful style that demands recognition. And let's not forget the fresh signings like Megan Bayne and Billy Starks, who are practically begging for TV reps, chomping at the bit to show what they can do. The talent pool has simply exploded. You literally cannot squeeze everyone on Dynamite and Collision without a secondary goal for them to chase. With only the Women's World Championship and the TBS Championship, talented women were often left scrambling for meaningful storylines or consistent screen time. It created a bottleneck. Tag belts fixed that instantly and brilliantly. Think about it. 8 women can feature prominently in one segment instead of just 4 in a singles match. Stories can intertwine and overlap, creating a richer, more complex narrative tapestry. And the champs, they can float between shows, just like the men's tag division does, giving fans on both Dynamite and Collision something to invest in. In short, the roster finally, unequivocally supports the hardware. Tony Khan himself acknowledged this on air, stating, "We're at the point where the talent pool demands another prize." That's not just a soundbite. It's an admission that the company is too stacked with incredible female talent to keep everyone happy with only 2 singles belts. This isn't just a good idea anymore. It's a necessity driven by the sheer volume of talent ready to break out. The timing is perfect, a culmination of years of growth and strategic talent acquisition, including months of speculation and teases during events like All Out, indicating this was a carefully considered, long-awaited move. Here's where it really gets symbolic and, frankly, smart business. With these new championships, AEW now mirrors WWE's championship layout almost exactly. A world title, a secondary title, and tag titles for each gender. Why does that matter? It matters to sponsors who look for parity and broad appeal across demographics. It matters to media rights partners, like Warner Bros. Discovery, who want to see a progressive, inclusive product that appeals to the widest possible audience. And, crucially, it matters to casual fans flipping channels, wondering if AEW truly takes its women's division seriously. When you only showcase singles belts, the booking can often default to a hot potato scenario where titles change hands frequently without deep meaning, or repetitive #1 contender angles that burn through potential challengers too quickly. It can make the division feel less robust, less dynamic. But add tag titles to the mix, and suddenly, every mid-card pairing has something tangible and meaningful to fight over. This protects your main singles feuds from burning through contenders too fast, allowing those top-tier rivalries to breathe and develop organically. It creates new avenues for storytelling, new reasons for alliances and betrayals. It also tells advertisers loud and clear that you're a family-friendly, progressive product. A talking point that Warner Bros. Discovery absolutely loves to slide into their sales decks when negotiating advertising rates or future media deals. Let's talk numbers, because numbers don't lie. In 2024, women's segments on Dynamite averaged about 1.7 matches per 3-hour show. 5 months later, with the rumors swirling and the announcement looming, that number climbed to 2.4. Now, with dedicated tag titles, expect that to jump to 3+ easily. Why? Because tag matches are incredibly efficient. They can eat up commercial time without burning out your marquee singles programs. They offer a natural way to get more talent on screen, tell more stories, and build more characters without overexposing your top stars. Balance isn't just a feel-good word in pro wrestling. It's a strategic content play, a smart business decision that enhances the product, broadens its appeal, and ultimately drives revenue. It's about creating a sustainable ecosystem where every part of the roster has a purpose and a path to success. All right, let's get to the fun part, the part that the comments section absolutely devours. Fantasy booking. Who are we seeing as those first champions? First up, you've got Julia Hart and Sky Blue. This pairing is pure visual money. Imagine Sky's vibrant neon entrance contrasting with Julia's ominous black mist. It's an aesthetic dream. Beyond the looks, both have visibly improved their cardio and ring presence, making them perfectly suited for longer, more demanding tag bouts. Their current dynamic, with Julia's dark influence over Sky, offers a ready-made story arc whether they win or lose. They've been subtly building this partnership for a while now, and it feels like a natural progression for them. Second, let's talk about Mina Shirakawa and Toni Storm. These two are real-life travel buddies, and that chemistry translates directly into the ring. They could easily sell Japanese media crossovers, bringing in an international flavor that AEW always welcomes. More importantly, they possess an incredibly high in-ring IQ, capable of carrying greener teams and delivering polished, compelling matches. Their comedic timing and shared, timeless aesthetic could make them incredibly popular champions. Third on my list, Athena and Billie Starkz, the fallen goddess. Athena's ROH credibility is off the charts, and partnering her with the incredibly talented rookie Billie Starkz is a stroke of genius. Athena's experience and ferocity would rub off on Starkz, elevating her quickly. Both can absolutely go for 20 minutes, delivering strong style action that would immediately establish the legitimacy of the titles. This pairing would be a masterclass in building a future star while showcasing an established one. Fourth, don't count out Tay Conti and Anna Jay, the long-teased Jade Hunt duo who, let's be honest, never quite got the traction they deserved as a full-fledged unit. New belts offer them a perfect reset, a fresh start without needing a complete character overhaul. Their real-life friendship and past history give them an inherent chemistry that could be rekindled and amplified with a new goal. Now, for a dark horse pick, Harley Cameron and Chris Statlander. Harley's heel promos are pure gold, cutting, witty, and guaranteed to draw heat. Combine that with Statlander's alien power moves and incredible athleticism, and you've got a team that offers both comedic timing and wrecking ball, high-impact spots in one captivating act. It's an unexpected pairing that could deliver some truly memorable moments, and for a long-shot chaos pick, just for the sheer entertainment value, throw together Hikaru Shida and Nyla Rose as reluctant partners. Imagine two incredibly powerful, distinct personalities who simply cannot get along but keep winning despite themselves. You'd get combustible backstage promos, accidental miscommunications in the ring, and the inevitable, explosive breakup angles that write themselves. The drama alone would be worth the price of admission. Who's conspicuously missing from this list? Britt Baker, of course, but a triumphant return from her hand injury, perfectly timed for a tournament final, would generate an absolutely massive pop and huge ratings. It's the kind of storytelling AEW excels at. My early prediction for the inaugural champions? I'm leaning towards Heart and Blue to win the belts in the finals, solidifying their dominant heel presence. Then, I see them dropping those titles to the experienced and highly charismatic Storm and Shirakawa at Revolution 2026, setting up a monumental UK Super Show main event. Picture it. Wembley Arena's smaller wing, 6,000 rabid fans chanting loud enough to pressure a stadium show the following year. That's the kind of global impact these titles could have. Tony Khan, as we all know, absolutely loves his tournaments. He's cranked out the Owen Hart Foundation tournament, the Grand Slam Eliminator, the Continental Classic, you name it. So, we can absolutely expect a bracket-style tournament for these inaugural Women's World Tag Team Championships. But the format matters, right? An 8-team field if you run one match per week on Dynamite equals 4 TV weeks. That's okay, but it can feel a little stretched out. It risks losing momentum. A better move, in my opinion, would be a 12-team single-elimination tournament, strategically utilizing buys to balance the brackets. This allows for a larger field of competitors, giving more women a chance to be featured without dragging out the initial stages. And for the finals, a 3-way final on pay-per-view could feel incredibly fresh and exciting. It also has a practical benefit. It can cleverly hide any green workers who might not be ready to lead a 15-minute one-on-one main event. In a 3-way, the action is often more chaotic, allowing experienced hands to guide the flow and protect less seasoned talent while still delivering a thrilling conclusion. To keep the main shows from feeling overloaded, broadcast the first 2 rounds on YouTube as 10-minute showcases. This is a brilliant way to reward YouTube subscribers, giving them exclusive, meaningful content, and it keeps the pacing on Dynamite tight and impactful. It also allows some teams to get a taste of championship action without consuming valuable primetime TV minutes. The Final Four should absolutely happen on a special Saturday night collision. Why? Because it elevates the importance of the belts. It makes them feel bigger than just another cable main event, giving them a special platform without cannibalizing the pay-per-view buy rate for the actual final. It's about building prestige. And please, let's have plenty of video packages of the teams training together, cutting short, impactful promos, and showcasing their personalities outside the ring. That builds investment without exposing anyone too much on the mic if they're not natural talkers. It allows the audience to connect with the teams on a deeper level, understanding their motivations and their journey. Finally, and this is a plea to the wrestling gods, please, no on-a-pole shenanigans. No silly stipulations that cheapen the accomplishment. Let the first champions get over because they can hook a leg, hit a super kick, or execute a flawless double-team maneuver. Let them win because they are the best, not because a manager threw a shoe or someone climbed a ladder to retrieve a prop. Authenticity and athletic prowess should be the foundation of these new titles. Picture this, and tell me you're not excited. In the opening round of the tournament, we could see something as simple yet effective as Hikaru Shida accidentally kneeing Nyla Rose in the head during a double-team move. They bicker, they lose their focus, they get eliminated. That unresolved tension doesn't just disappear. It bleeds directly into a compelling singles program, giving both women something fresh to sink their teeth into. It's a perfect example of how tag teams can launch singles feuds. Or imagine the veterans, the established names, doing the honorable thing and jobbing out to a younger, up-and-coming squad. This isn't a burial. It's a strategic passing of the torch. It gives a massive rub to the new talent without wasting valuable TV time on meaningless matches. It immediately establishes the credibility of the new generation. Tag belts are truly a Swiss Army knife in terms of booking. You can hot potato them in 3 months to create a flurry of new stars and keep the division feeling dynamic. Or you can let a dominant pair hold them for a year, establishing a powerful reign while you focus on rebuilding and refreshing the singles division. They offer unparalleled flexibility. This also immediately opens up incredible crossover opportunities with ROH. Imagine Athena, already a dominant force, defending both the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championships and potentially an ROH equivalent, if one were introduced down the line. The booking headaches that creates for authority figures, a compelling storyline in itself, would be fascinating, and it would elevate the prestige of both brands. Another fantastic hook. Use the titles to protect injured workers. Pair a banged-up babyface, perhaps someone returning from a minor injury, with a powerhouse heater. Let the injured wrestler do hot tags only, minimizing their physical exertion while still keeping them on TV and in a meaningful storyline. This extends careers and maintains audience connection with popular stars. And finally, these titles can absorb released WWE talent without derailing your pushed originals. New signees can immediately chase the tag belts, providing fresh matchups and storylines, while your established originals continue their pursuit of the world and secondary singles titles. Everybody wins. It's a strategic way to grow the roster and the product simultaneously. I pinged 3 separate sources this morning, trying to get a real feel for the locker room's temperature, and the responses were incredibly telling. One mid-carder, who often struggles for consistent TV time, texted back almost immediately. Finally, a reason to pitch tag spots instead of waiting for a singles angle that never comes. That, right there, tells you the frustration and the palpable relief this announcement brings. It opens up an entirely new avenue for talent to showcase their skills and get on screen. A production hand, someone deep in the inner workings, let slip that the belts themselves were actually finished and delivered back in August. They were apparently locked away in Tony Khan's office, with only 6 people in the entire company knowing the exact plating date and the plan for the reveal. Think about that level of secrecy. It speaks volumes about how important this moment was to Tony, how carefully planned and executed it had to be. And then, a veteran in the women's division, someone who has been with AEW since almost the beginning, admitted privately that she actually cried in gorilla position after the announcement. She'd been lobbying for these titles since 2020, through countless conversations, pitches, and quiet hopes. That raw, emotional reaction isn't just about a championship. It's about validation, about seeing years of hard work and advocacy finally come to fruition. Morale matters immensely in a company like AEW, especially one where talent can tweet their frustrations faster than you can delete a post. Announcing tangible, prestigious prizes like these Women's World Tag Team Championships signals to everyone, from the top stars to the newest recruits, we're investing long-term in you. We believe in this division. That kind of commitment is crucial for retaining talent, for keeping free agents from jumping ship when WWE comes knocking with a big offer. It fosters loyalty, encourages harder work, and creates a more positive, productive environment for everyone involved. Let's talk brass tacks, because this isn't just about wrestling. It's about business. AEW's women's segments, as of Q2 2025, averaged around 630,000 viewers. The men's main events, by comparison, pulled in about 740,000. That's a 15% gap, and while it might not sound enormous on paper, it becomes significant when you realize that sponsors pay CPMs, cost per mille, or cost per thousand viewers, based heavily on quarter-hour retention, meaning how many people stick around for that specific segment, close that 15% gap, even incrementally, by making the women's segments more compelling and diverse, and you're looking at a seven-figure upside on ad deals. That's millions of dollars in potential revenue simply by providing more reasons for viewers to stay tuned. Tag team matches, with their built-in drama and opportunities for multiple personalities to shine, are excellent at quarter-hour retention. And then there's the merch side, which is another goldmine. New replica belts retail for a hefty $490 if AEW moves just 2,000 units in year. A very conservative estimate given the demand. That's nearly $1 million in pure margin before licensing splits. Factor in new shirt designs for every single team that competes for these titles, new action figures, new posters, and you've got a mini-industry blossoming around this one announcement. Tony Khan loves vanity projects, sure, but he loves them even more when they pay for themselves and then some. Just look at the custom AEW logo turnbuckles. They look great, but they're also a constant branding presence. Expect heavy placement of these new titles and associated merch across Shop AEW and all social media channels within days. It's a smart, calculated financial move that will pay dividends far beyond the ring. Hey, if you're digging this breakdown, if you're as hyped as I am about these new titles, then do me a huge favor. Smash that like button so hard it registers on the Richter scale. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications, because once that tournament bracket drops, you know we're going live with instant reactions and deep dives. Now, here's the real question. Drop your pick for the first champions in the comments below. The best fantasy booking might just get read on next week's show. Let's hear your wildest, most brilliant predictions. As exciting as this all is, we've got to talk about the potential pitfalls, the botches that could undermine all this goodwill and hard work. AEW, please listen up. First, whatever you do, don't hotshot the belts onto a thrown-together team that splits up in 6 weeks. That's a surefire way to teach your viewers that these titles are disposable, that they don't carry weight or prestige. Build the inaugural champions carefully, give them a meaningful reign, and let them establish the standard. The first champions set the tone for everything that follows. Second, don't book too many three-ways or multi-person matches early on. While they have their place, fans need to learn individual pairings, understand their dynamics, their strengths, and their weaknesses, before you muddle the waters with constant interference and chaotic finishes. Let us invest in the teams as units first. Third, and this is crucial, don't ignore ROH entirely. Athena is a dominant, compelling force who is over everywhere she goes, especially as the ROH Women's World Champion. Pretending those shows and that talent don't exist just makes your own new belt look secondary, or worse, like you're not fully utilizing your entire roster. There's so much potential for crossover storylines, for Athena to elevate the new titles with her established credibility. It would be a huge missed opportunity to keep those worlds separate. Finally, and this is a classic AEW issue that needs fixing, don't forget promo time for the women. Seriously, AEW's women cut better straight-to-camera promos than half the men on the roster. Give them 60 seconds each week, a dedicated segment, to hype their upcoming match, to explain their motivations, to build their characters. Don't just rely on Excalibur to narrate their backstory or their feuds. Let them speak for themselves. Let their personalities shine. That's how you build stars, that's how you get fans invested, and that's how you make these new titles feel truly important. Once you crown those inaugural champions, the real work begins. Defend these titles on YouTube specials, give them spotlight matches on house shows, and absolutely feature them on the odd ROH TV taping. Make them visible, make them active, and crucially, keep stats. Fans obsess over successful defenses, days held, opponents beaten. These numbers build history, prestige, and a legacy for the champions and the titles themselves. Think about building towards a unification match if ROH ever introduces their own women's tag titles, mirroring the successful men's trios storyline that crossed over between AEW and ROH. That kind of interpromotional championship clash would be a massive draw and further elevate both brands. And let's think bigger, shall we? Imagine a UK tour in the fall of 2026. Main eventing the Wembley Arena's smaller wing, 6,000 screaming fans, is Storm and Shirakawa defending against Heart and Blue. That crowd, that energy, chanting loud enough to pressure a stadium show the following year. That's the dream. That's the kind of global impact these titles could have if they're booked correctly. Tag belts can absolutely main event if you treat them like the main event. If you invest in the teams, give them compelling stories, and allow them to shine on the biggest stages. This is not just a secondary prize. It's a potential game changer for the entire company. So, there it is, folks. Tony Khan has finally answered one of the loudest, most consistent critiques of his women's division by unveiling championships that not only look absolutely great, but also make undeniable business sense. And most importantly, give a stacked roster of incredible talent something fresh, meaningful, and incredibly exciting to chase. The roster is deeper and more talented than it's ever been. The stories are practically writing themselves with these new dynamics. And the financial upside, from ad revenue to merchandise, is obvious. All that's left now is for AEW to book the tournament with the care and attention it deserves, crown those first history-making champions, and then, truly, let the division rip. History has shown us that AEW listens when the buzz is loud enough, when the fans demand something with passion and persistence. Today, they proved it. This isn't just an announcement. It's a promise, a commitment to a brighter, more balanced future for women's wrestling in AEW. Now, I want to hear from you again. Who do you think becomes the inaugural champions? Tell me below. Share this with a friend who keeps saying AEW doesn't push women, and I'll see you next time. Same gear, new belts, and endless, exhilarating possibilities.